How to enjoy being alone and being single. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to enjoy being alone and how to enjoy being single, and basically how to make the most of this precious time that you have while you are single. Because trust me, when you get into a relationship, you're going to have a lot less time on your hands. So how can you make the most of this time while you are single? So before we get into this video, please leave a like on it and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have something that you would like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Please also leave down in the comments any tips that you have for other people, any insights that you have yourself, so we can all help each other out. Thank you so much. So those precious days and months that you have alone are really, really, really important. And the reason why they're important is because it helps build you up for life. Because when you are in a relationship, you do have a lot less time to work on yourself, to work on things. There's like a small window that you have probably that you will have that you can spend alone to actually work on those things, especially when, let's say you start having children. If that's something that you want, you can have a lot less time on your hands. So you need to be putting in the practice now, so that when you do have time, when you're in a relationship, you use it wisely. So using your time now is going to really help you when you do get into that relationship, when you do start having that family. So this, if you're single, is the most important time of your life, because it will set you up for your relationships, and it will set you up to be the parent that you may want to be. And if you're still a student, then it's going to set you up to being a good person in the workforce. Or if you want to start your own business, it's going to help install those positive habits now, so you can further improve yourself in the future. And when you do have less time on your hands, those things will already be installed, so you'll know what to do and make the most of that precious time you're going to have when you are in a relationship, when you're married and when you have children. So how to make the most of your life while you're single and while you're alone. So the first thing that you need to be working on, which I think is super, 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 super important, and that is building your confidence and your sense of self. So that's building your self-image, building up your worthiness, your courage, your faith in yourself. And the reason why it's really important for you to have confidence, to work on your confidence while you're single, is if you go into a relationship where you're not confident, where you don't have a high regard for yourself, it's going to be very easy for your partner to walk over you. And it's going to be very easy for you to install negative mind patterns in your children, because if you're not confident, then it's very likely that your children will not be confident, and it's very likely that your partner won't have confidence in you. So it's important that you cultivate self-confidence while you're single, so when you do go into relationships, you know how to handle yourself. You don't let yourself get too emotional or get too irrational, and you can then become a role model for your future family and for your future partner, because you want to be someone who other people can rely on. And that's essentially what it means to, be a good team member of a family and to be a good partner. You want to be able to be the rock when someone else is upset, because no doubt you're going to have times in your life that are going to be difficult. So you would hope that your partner would also be a good source of strength for you. So that's what you need to become. You need to become a source of strength. There's a quote from Jordan Peterson. I can't remember it exactly, precisely, but it's being the person that other people can rely on at your father's funeral, as opposed to being the person that's crumbling in the corner, cowering away and crying. So that's like a really good analogy, a really good sort of thing you can think about and imagine yourself as. Imagine yourself as the pillar of everybody else's strength, so that people aren't looking after you and babying you. So it's having that self-reliance, that responsibility to be able to take care and handle your own emotions. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not upset. It doesn't mean that you can't be upset, but it doesn't mean that you're making the situation worse and everyone has to baby you and take care of you. You can still grieve and be upset, but still help other people who are perhaps not doing so well. And that's essentially what you need to get to. You want to be that person in your family. You want to be that person in your romantic relationships, the one that can withstand it all. It's the person who can feel it and experience the sadness or experience the hurt or whatever experience that life is throwing at you, but still being able to stand on your 2 feet and not let it defeat you and not let it make you crumble. So that's really, really important, to have that confidence in yourself, to have that belief in yourself. And if you just have that, if you just cultivate that, that will really, really help you when you come into a relationship and when you start having a family, and how you react now to the family that you already have. So that's something super, super important and crucial to have in life in general, not just, in a relationship. Because, situations can happen at work or when you're at school and you need to help other people. You need to be that pillar of strength. And like I said, it doesn't mean to repress your feelings. It just means that you're not crumbling in the midst of adversity. So another way to make the most of your alone time is to, and the times when you're single, is to work on your hobbies, your passions, your creativity. Because like I said, when you get into a relationship or when you have a family, you will have less time to do these things. It doesn't mean that you'll never have time to do these things, because I'm sure that you will find a half an hour there or a couple of hours here and there to be able to, do your hobbies, to do something creative, to work on whatever it is that you want to work on. You will have time, but just not as much time as what you have when you're younger, when you're single, and when you don't have as many responsibilities. So make the most of that, really cultivate that time, and work on those things that you really love. Now, make sure that they're things that you really do actually love and care about. Make sure that these hobbies aren't just things that everyone else is doing that you feel like you need to do. So the best thing for you to kind of realize is, what are the things that you are naturally drawn to? So this might be art, it might be writing, or it could be even just something simple as reading. It could be carpentry, it could be a certain specific type of book genre, it could be model planes, whatever it is for you. What are you naturally drawn to? And then cultivate those interests, those hobbies, and those things that you really like and enjoy. Obviously, exercise is a good one. Getting yourself into a good exercise routine is a good thing for you to do. Working out your current eating habits, going to a nutritionist perhaps, because obviously I'm not a nutritionist. There are plenty of diets out there that may work for you. Like, you might be someone who wants to only eat meat. You might be someone who wants to do keto, or you might be someone who wants to be vegan. Obviously find out the diet that works for you, and then try to make that as healthy as you possibly can, and also having a sensible workout routine. So those are things obviously that you need to figure out while you are single, because like I said, when you get into a relationship, you're going to have a lot less time. So you need to make sure that you install those habits now and become consistent with those things now while you still have the time. And what's really important is, if you do start to become really, really consistent with these certain things, and you do these things a lot, and you are making the most of your single time, when you get into a relationship, it's important that you still maintain those things. It's important that you still do those things that are good for you, that is healthy for you. So something that I do, it's not all the time, but most of the time, on the weekends, I do have some time alone where I exercise. This is something that I especially did around Christmas time, when my partner was around a lot more because she had a lot of time off work. So I made sure that I had time during the day where I went and exercised on my own, because I still needed to do that for my own body, for my own sanity, basically. So when you do get into a relationship, don't feel like you can't have time away from your partner. Have half an hour where you go and paint in the bedroom, or in your basement or something, or outside, or in your living room, wherever. Make sure that you have make sure that you don't feel like you can't still be yourself while you're in a relationship. You can still, set aside an hour or so to do those things that you've continued to do, that you started to do while you were single and became consistent at when you were single. Because the important thing to know is, if you change who you are when you become in a relationship, that person who you're in a relationship with will think that you're not the same person that they fell in love with. Because if you go on a date and you tell this person, oh yeah, I read a lot, oh yeah, I exercise every day for half an hour and things like that, and then you stop doing those things when you get into a relationship, you're not going to be the same person that they fell in love with. So make sure that when you do get into a relationship, you still do have some alone time so you can still be yourself and be that person that they fell in love with, unless for whatever reason your goals actually do change. So this was my video on how to make the most of being alone, how to make the most of being single, and why it's a really important time in your life to actually start cultivating all these different things like your hobbies, your passions, your self-confidence. So I hope you found this video informative. I hope you found it helpful. If you would like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop. On the shop page, there is a free PDF that you can get. That PDF is a dating and relationship manual. So if you do read that and you like it, then please let me know if you have any critiques, anything that you wish me to add, so I can make it the best product possible for those people that want it. And I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Thank you so much. Bye.